here's the deal. I've started the video at a somewhat awkward point in the build process, so I'll just catch you up quickly.
I've finished the majority of basic physical development. What I mean by that is I have a rough idea of what it's going to look like and how it's going to operate. It's servo actuated, and this version will end up being just a bit smaller than the next gen, but it will be just as, if not more powerful. I've taken inspiration from Boston Dynamics Spot Robot and leg design. Now it's not an exact copy, but I've adapted the general shape and overall functionality to suit my needs, at least for this initial version. This unit, which I'm naming RS Alpha, is essentially a further developed next gen unit in the sense that this one will have legs, and I'm planning on Alpha actually being able to walk.
Those photos were taken a wee while ago, and since then I've made some headway. For one, I've made the hips and I've added support bearings just like up here. Mostly because I didn't like the idea that the whole load would be spread across the servo here. So if while the robot's walking, it's a bump, the internal gears of the servo doesn't get like absolutely shredded.
Because Alpha is just a prototype, it's okay to have some slop here and there. The only set in stone requirement for RS Alpha is that there cannot be any hot glue used to assemble it, as this was one of the biggest things I didn't like about Next Gen. In this unit, the only glue I will use is super glue, and even that's only for assembling parts that will then be bolted or screwed on. In the next unit, RS Beta, I've got some feelers out about potentially getting some high complexity parts 3D printed by companies online rather than making them in-house. Hopefully at some point in the future I'll be able to 3D print things by myself, but as you can see that seems to be quite a while away at the minute.
Now, you'll also notice that there's cables hanging about everywhere, and that's because one, I don't have the hardware, as in I don't have the Arduino Mega, that will probably go here, probably in the back, to connect all the servos to. And I'm obviously not just going to plug them in like that, I'm going to use something similar to this. It has got a PCB header just on the end there, and then it has 3 cables, 6.2 volts in, ground and signal wires that will all go up to the Arduino and feed through the back and give it a more streamlined design. So the wires go from here, are heat shrinked into this nylon webbing that keeps them all together, and then it just makes it look better, to be honest. And then these will obviously run all over the robot structure, delivering power to it. Also, this is what the elbow and knee joints are going to look like. You're going to have your regular servo, and then you're going to have 2 of these boards. They've got 4 holes drilled in them for bolts to come out. So essentially, if you can imagine 4 bolts coming out here, the servo gets sandwiched in between these 2 bits of plywood, and then the whole assembly itself gets sandwiched in between both sides of the limbs. This will become more clear when I actually manufacture the limbs, and yeah,